yesterday I was mowing the lawn and I had my phone in my pocket and listening to music on my headphones, which were Bluetooth, and didn't have any problems. And then at the end, I got off as a riding lawnmower. I got off and I started walking away and the Bluetooth speakers disconnected. And I was like, oh, that was weird. So I looked, checked my phone, checked my pockets, no phone. And I found it. It had fallen out of my pocket. It had slid between the seat of the lawnmower onto the belt underneath. And I don't know how long it was there, but it stopped working. The bottom half stopped working. I don't know if you can see, but on the right side right here, there is a little bit of an orange glow. I think you can see it right there. Anyways, it totally melted through the seal and it burned the circuits in the phone. So the bottom didn't work. And then we thought, well, let's restart it to see if it'll work. Once I did that, I couldn't get in with my Face ID because I had to enter the passcode in and some of the numbers in my passcode were at the bottom, so I couldn't get it. But you can see the case here, totally burned through the case. Anyways, so I have no phone, but I'm getting a new phone soon. It's just moral of the story, make sure your phone doesn't fall into the lawnmower. But besides that, welcome to Edit Your Photos Part 2. My name is Will Simpson. This is Exploring Photography, and I asked for you guys to send me photos on TikTok and Instagram, and I got a whole ton of photos again. I love it. You guys are awesome sending me all these photos. I love being able to edit different people's photos, and it gives me the opportunity for me to practice and for you to get a professionally edited photo. Now, I am by far not the best, and again, these are all in my edit style, so if you don't like it, that's totally fine with me. You don't have to use it. It's just my kind of spin on the photos, which I hope you do like it, but if not, that's okay too. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into the first edit. The first edit is by Chris Simpson. And again, if I mess up your name, I apologize, but is what it is, comes with the territory. So the first thing I did was start with my preset Summer Breeze. I lowered the temperature, making it a little bit of a cooler image. Then I cropped it, kind of straightened it out. Using split toning, I added some blue in the shadows and the highlights. And then I added some graduated filters to darken it, pull your attention to the train. I used the brush to brighten up the lights. And then I intensified the clarity because I found that this works really good on city images. Then I wanted to brighten up the orange to make it pop, give it some really nice contrast. And then I used 2 more graduated filters to really separate the sides of the image. The right side being cool and the left side being warmer tone. This gave it kind of that pop that I was going for, and overall, I think it looked really good. So Chris, thank you so much for the photo. Really hope you enjoyed the edit, and we'll move on to the next one, which is going to be Katarina Swank. And Katarina sent me this great image of these ponies. I believe they were in Iceland. I think they're ponies, they might be horses, I'm not sure. Anyways, so what I did with this one is I started with my preset Touch of Blue, which really clears up the image. I then adjusted the whites and blacks to fit the image, cropped it. Then I wanted to clean it up, so I pulled it into Photoshop, cleaned up this fence here, and then I saw the shadows of the people and the horses, so I got rid of that, cleaned those up, cleaned up this little black mark in the top left. Then I did a kind of a dodge and burn to really give it separation between the mountains and the sky. Once that was done, I did some color balancing to kind of cool down the shadows but heat up the highlights, and then brought it back into Lightroom, did some minor adjustments, contrast, clarity, did some curves adjustment, and then I used the brush to highlight just the background to kind of really create separation between the horse and the background. And then after a few adjustments, here's the before and here's the after. Anyways, Katarina, thank you so much for your submission. I hope you like my edit. And let's go on to the next one. The next one is gonna be Andrea, I believe this is. Andrea, I think it's Andrea. We're gonna go with Andrea. Andrea sent me this cool picture of these 2 tractors, and this one was a JPEG. What I thought was really cool, this time I got a lot of RAW photos. If you guys don't know the difference between a RAW format and a JPEG format, I did do a video on this, so check it out. I'll link it in the description. But a lot of people sent me the RAW formats, which is so good, gives you so much more editing power. This one particularly was a JPEG, and it was actually a smaller JPEG, so it was kind of limited to my editing ability. So what I did The first thing I did was I adjusted the crop to straighten out the image. I then started with my Golden Touch preset, and then I adjusted the whites, the blacks, the highlights, the shadows to match. I wanted to kind of desaturate it a little and pull attention kind of to the tractor, so I used some graduated filters. I then added a radial filter to kind of blow out the sky a little. Still keep the details, but give it a little bit more of a brightness look. I then added some vignetting and warmed up the image. Here we go, here's the before, and here is the after. Andrea, I really hope you enjoy the photo. I love the tractors, love the theme. Country boy myself, so this was great. Thank you so much for submitting your image. I hope you like the edit. So the next photo is by Jaylene. It's this amazing waterfall. I loved it immediately when I saw it. And so here's what I did with it. With this one, I started by adjusting the highlights, shadows, the whites and blacks, and then I cropped it to bring it in to really put your focus on the waterfall itself. I then applied my preset Falling Beauty, which makes the colors really clean and clear, and then adjusted some contrast. I added some graduated filters to pull your attention straight to the waterfall. Adjusted the colors a little, the tone curve to give it more of a pop, more of a contrast look. I then added a radial filter to add the sun to make it kind of glow in that right side, but I didn't want it to affect the waterfall. I then used the brush tool to create some really good contrast in the waves by brightening the foamy parts of the water and darkening the dark parts of the water to really give it that contrast, and that made a huge difference. So here's the before, and here is the after. I loved this photo. This was incredible. Jaylene, thank you so much for your submission. I hope you really, really enjoy it. Now, I wanted to take a quick break really fast and tell you about the emblem that I've gotten a lot of questions on, the Exploring Photography emblem. It is this right here. And if you like exploring, if you like travel, if you like photography, then you can get merchandise like this on my website, along with blogs, which I do more educational tutorials. You can see all of my gear. There's a list of all of my gear. You can buy prints, stickers, hats, and actually the hats come in pretty cool, different variety. You got the black and gray, you got the black on black with green trees, and you got the green, which is probably the favorite. But if you want to get a hat and represent the journey of exploring photography, check out the website. Let's get on to the next one, which is Jackson or Snatching_Light. This one is a great model photo that I really liked. So what I did, so the first thing I did with this photo was I adjusted the highlights, shadows, whites, and blacks, dropped the clarity a little. Then I did some skin touch-up to remove some of the blemishes. This was just using the healing brush tool, cleaned up her eyes. There's a couple of little light lines there. The next thing I did was I did the eyes. I wanted to really bring out the eyes, so I used a curves adjustment to brighten them up, and then I lowered the opacity to make it look natural. I then wanted to match her eyes to the flowers, so I did a hue saturation change and adjusted just the background. And then I cleaned up the little stray hairs, did some dodging and burning on her face and her hair to really make her pop. After that, did some more minor touch-ups on her face, just some more contouring and some separation from the background and the foreground. And after all that was said and done, here's the before, and here is the after. Jackson, I hope you enjoy the photo. Thank you so much for the submission. Let us go on to the next one and final image of the day, which is by Kat Etozar, I believe is correct. If not, don't hold it against me. All right, this one is this amazing photo, and I'm sure you guys have seen this photo on Instagram. I honestly don't know where it is, but I definitely want to go. The first thing I did was start with my preset Golden Touch to give it a style. I then cropped it to straighten it out. I then adjusted the whites and blacks for this particular photo. You sometimes have to do that. Once that was done, I brought it into Photoshop and I did some color balancing to make the shadows blue and the highlights more warm to give it that nice contrast. Once that was done, I used a technique to create layering in the photo to really give it depth, to separate the different mountain layers. What I do is I use the quick select tool. I select the layer, then I use a curves adjustment, one for brightening, one for darkening at about 10%. I then select the different parts of the mountain, and then I lighten the edges, and then I darken the other side, if that makes sense. So I'll highlight this mountain, and then I'll brighten the top of the mountain, and then I'll select the inverse, and I'll darken the back side. I brought it back into Lightroom and did a brush adjustment to create kind of some sun flares, and then here is the before, and here is the after. Anyways, Kat, this photo was incredible. I really enjoyed editing it. I hope you like my edit of it. I cannot wait to go there. It is absolutely a beautiful location. I can't even imagine going there personally. But that is it, guys. That is all there is to the Edit Your Photos video. I really hope you guys enjoyed all of my edits. Please let me know in the comments if you do. And what I'm gonna start doing on your comments, if you guys comment something, put your Instagram, because what I'm doing is I'm choosing some of the comments to share on my Instagram, and I'd love to be able to tag you on that. So if you leave a comment, leave your Instagram handle, and who knows, maybe I'll tag you on Instagram. But that is it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to hit the like button. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. This was fun, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. It's good seeing you guys again. I'll see you guys next time.